everyone, welcome to Two Car Pros. My name is Ryan, and today I'm going to show you how to replace the front headlight on a 2014 Ford F-150. Let's go ahead and jump in. So as soon as you open your hood, this is where we're going to be working here today. On the driver's side, the passenger side is exactly the same, but obviously on the other side of the truck. So let's get started. So there are 3 fasteners that hold this headlight to the truck, and what I want to do on all of them is just grab a Sharpie and just mark where they were. You can wipe this off later if it bothers you. And this will help us line up these fasteners when we're replacing them. So to do that for all 3, you can only see 2 right now. There's another one down that way. So behind this flap, this happens a lot with these trucks, especially as time is worn on. They're just like a little air guider, and that helps add air over to the radiator, but they do fall apart. That's not that uncommon. You can just kind of flap that over or remove this body clamp, and you can remove that the proper way. And again, we're going to color that in. So reassembly is just a little bit easier on us. All right, now we can remove those 3 fasteners. Those are 10 millimeters. And set those aside. So now we should be able to gingerly remove our headlight lens. Pulling straight forward, just like that. Don't go crazy. All you're doing is you're fighting these little clips, those 2. So just pull straight out. Don't try to like seesaw it side to side. Come straight forward with it. And then we have access to our lens. So if we were doing the front blinker, this would be the guy you're paying attention to. If you're doing the side blinker or marker lights, this would be the one you're going to pay attention to. But we're doing the headlight today, so we're going to focus on this guy. So we can undo this electrical connector, and there's a little clip. You see that guy right there? You need to depress that and then wiggle the whole thing up. Sometimes they can be a little firm, but just keep at it. So just depress on that safety and wiggle her off. Awesome. So on these 2 tabs, there's one here and one on the other side. We're just gonna grab that. Sometimes a pair of channel locks might help you out there. It's on there pretty darn good, especially if they're stock, like this one I'm sure is. Now we can take this over to our workbench. Alrighty, so here's our stock unit, and normally you would compare a stock unit to a stock unit, but the owner of this truck really wants these LEDs in his truck, which I don't blame him, they look super cool. But with LEDs, as I was reading in its instruction manual, has to be mounted like this in the truck. So both LEDs have to face a 3 and 9 o'clock position, so it really wants to be kind of straight up and down like this. So just verify that if you're putting LED ones in. If you have your normal guys, just put them in however, it really doesn't matter. You can just put it in the way you found it and you'll be fine. But you just want to compare them and make sure the sockets are the same and that the plugs are the same, which this is. So we are ready to rock. So I've left a link down below the description to these exact LEDs as well as the stock models. So if this seal didn't come out with your headlight bulb, go ahead and take it out and put it into your housing for installation, but ours comes with a new seal in there, so we don't really need it. And we can just go ahead and put our bulb in there. There we go. And twist that, tighten it down. There we go, very cool. And then we're gonna flip the lens over to make sure we got it in correctly. It's facing straight up and down, so we are good. And now we can plug our headlight in. There we go, nice and secure. Normally you would just plug it in just like you undid it. It was a normal stock bulb, and then we can replace our lens. So you just want to make sure that these 2 tangs, little clips, are lined up in their home. It's pretty easy to see back there. Just line that up. There we go. And then push or pull straight backward or push straight backward until everything's nice and lined up. Before we replace any mounting hardware, let's go ahead and test the lights just in case you got one maybe DOA, it doesn't work, or maybe it doesn't look quite right. This is the time to make those adjustments. Yay, they work! Cool. All right, now we can replace our 10 millimeter bolts. See, this is why I wanted to mark where they were, because look how much you can move it. And that's going to influence the beam. So I'm going to start tightening these down, but leave them loose for right this moment. And then I'm going to grab the 3rd one. Going to get our 10 millimeter bolt started here. Then tighten that down. Once it gets close, you can kind of manipulate the hardware a little bit. Perfect, so it lines up right as we marked it. Very nice. And then do the same thing for the top two. You know, pushing and pulling it until it's exactly where it was before. Perfect, and that's why you mark it. And for tightness, just, you know, wrist tight's fine. They're just 10mm bolts into plastic. Don't go hog wild. And then if your flap here wasn't broken, you would just reattach it using this body clip. And I think there's one down here as well, maybe. But again, these trucks are now old enough to the point where they're just, these flaps are just completely falling apart. We're gonna get some new ones pretty soon for these because this isn't doing favors for anybody. But if yours are in still good shape, then put them back. And check that out, look how much better it looks with the LEDs. Or if you're using stock stuff, it'll actually look better even just using the stock stuff because it'll be nice and bright as opposed to broken, which most likely yours are. But I have to say, these LEDs look fantastic. Thank you so much for watching. That's how to replace your headlight in your Ford F-150. Like I said, I recommend using these stock bulbs, which are down below in the description. But if you like the look of those LED ones, I've left those down below in the description as well. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.